TCF presented by The Loop Sports. I am Zach Lilja. You can follow me on Twitter at ZLilja, Lilja TCF. I don't know if we mentioned this, I think, last week, but Boomy's wife put on our
shout out.
What do we call this little thing here?
Monogram
box.
Yeah, it's called.
It has our Twitter handles on
flag,
it. So
microphone flag.
Shout out to her. Thank you for that.
Yes.
You can follow our main page at typical_Chicago, The Loop Sports at The Loop_Sports. You're watching us here on Typical Chicago Fan Facebook Live, where we do this show usually between Tuesdays, Thursdays at 8 o'clock, a little after 8, but we had some jobs that we had to attend to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then
coach a riveting basketball game.
Yeah, and then The Loop Sports is on here on Facebook. I forgot where we are at. And they have our blogs, podcast. We got some big news coming up here in the next few days with The Loop Sports. And then Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans, and The Loop Sports.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. I know I sound terrible. I'm coming down with a little cold. Being around kids all day, you just get the germs going. I sound absolutely ridiculous, but I actually don't feel that bad, other than I need to talk to the boss about maybe getting us a dental insurance plan, because I had my probably 10th dentist visit.
But because you can't get mad at that, but you can also get mad at
myself. It's my own fault. I think I have one more root canal I might have to get. You make 3 in
I do know a lot
months.
of people that don't go to the dentist for a while, but do not have to go back 10 times after.
Well, I had to get 4 cavities filled, and then I had to have a root canal, and then I had to have another root canal, and now it got so bad I might have to have another one done. But
Jeez
whatever.
Louise.
It is what it is. I come genetically from
if you're a dentist,
bad teeth.
you'd love to see that.
Our grandpa had dentures when he was like 30.
But that's old. That's older times.
No, but you can get genetic. Like my mom had. It's funny because my mom is like never had or has had a ton of cavities and had like 5 root canals. My dad's had like 1 cavity in his life, and so like I got that side of the genes. But
I didn't know that your teeth
your dental, your oral, there can be carried in your genes, and like it drives me nuts. I know I'm just ranting here, but I brush my teeth twice a day and floss my teeth every other night. So it's not like I don't take care of my teeth. So it's frustrating. But anyway, follow me on Twitter. If you are an Apple user, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review there. If you're not an Apple user, find us on Spotify. Make sure to follow us there. And head on over to the YouTube page where we put all these weekly videos up with some of the changes and some of the big news coming up at the Loop Sports here soon. You're going to see a lot more of our content on YouTube. I know Zach's working on our summer videos to get them out and get you guys some viewing pleasure out of those. But yeah, head over to the YouTube page, type in Typical Chicago Fans, and hit that red subscribe button.
We are in the middle of the greatest time of the year, I think. Well, not in the middle of it. We just started the greatest time of the year, I should say. We got football, college, and NFL. We got baseball coming to an end here. The regular season playoffs will be very exciting, but the Cubs are in a little bit of a race here for the division. And also a wild card spot, because I saw the Brewers won today again, so it'll be interesting if the Cubs were to lose tonight. They're down 3-1 right now. They're already 3 back behind the Cardinals after losing last night, and they're going behind 3. I wish we were going into it 2 games, but unfortunately we don't get to control that.
Nope.
So it's going to be tough. We had them 7 games, 6 after today, 2 or 3 more at Wrigley Field and 3 at St. Louis. This would be the Cardinals' first win of the year at Wrigley.
I didn't realize that.
The Cubs are 5-1 in St. Louis, or 1-5 in St. Louis, and 6-0 at home right now against the Cardinals. So that let's hope that doesn't change.
It's so frustrating.
Hopefully it changes. The Cubs are 7-0.
We'll get into it a little bit later. I'll just hold it until then. I'm at a loss for words, but we got to keep fighting. We got to keep battling.
But for degenerates like us, it's favorite time because there's a lot of gambling going on. I don't know if you saw this. It was one of the greatest covers or one of the greatest over hits in WNBA history. I saw Big Cat had it, and they hit it literally over half court shot to hit the over. That's why you gamble.
Wow.
That's why you have fun with it. Moments like that. But I'm meant to post it now, but it was just a beautiful moment. It's one of those things you don't ever expect. It was a beautiful shot too.
I love it.
But yes, like you said, we got Tennessee Jaguars tonight too. We're going to do our NFL pick show here. It'll be week 3 picks. I guess already picked Thursday night games because they already are going on, but we'll just kind of go into it. I can show you the gambling slips if you want me to prove that I had the Jaguars, which I do.
Yep.
Money line. But Boomy, what were your thoughts on week week 3? Week
In the
2,
NFL,
week 2 of the
week 2,
NFL.
Yeah. Lots of
mixed up there.
You kind of see week 1, I actually did really well gambling in like my my pick'em link. They were very easy games to pick, I thought. But on the other hand, covering the spreads then in the week 2, I mean, you saw some big spreads and teams not covering. You saw some other teams kind of balance out. I thought that Cincinnati looked good against Seattle in week 1, and they come and get the doors blown off of them when they traveled to, or when was it San Francisco came to them. So you saw games like that where you like, oh, maybe this team is kind of decent, and then in week 2 they really kind of showed their ass. But there was a
lot of quarterbacks going down. Big Ben out for
that
the
is
season.
definitely
Drew Brees maybe 6 weeks, could be longer. They're making it seem like it'll probably be a little bit longer than that. Cam Newton's beat up pretty bad. It's like I said, Andrew Luck already out. Brissett looking good. And we just it's got to be tough going out there and with the Steelers losing Big Ben.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. I mean, Mason Rudolph's
they're already
good.
down. I mean, look at a year ago they had 3 of the best players in that division. When you're talking about Ben Roethlisberger and Le'Veon Bell, I know he was sitting out last year, but he was still on the roster, and Antonio Brown, and now you're down to Mason and James Conner, and don't get me wrong, Juju's still a top 10 wide receiver, but to lose 2 of your 3-headed monster is saying a lot. I think that's a big story, and you're seeing some teams that maybe we thought, like I said, some teams maybe we were on the fence about kind of come out and either show us that they're for real or they're not. I know as not a Bears fan, I'm a little worried about the Bears for you. I think they have some things they need to work on, and they need to get better offensively.
Big game Monday night.
Definitely. But then even teams like maybe we didn't expect much out of, like the Cowboys, for example. I didn't expect much out of the Cowboys this year, and they are barnstorming right now. I mean, Dak is playing for $40 million.
I mean, we got some questions over there because my screen's being
so
dumb. Not showing
just
me the questions.
Shout out Blair, constant listener, constant provider into the show.
Speaking of that, we don't have a top 3, so we need some
if
help.
anybody's got any top 3 ideas, shoot them our way. We'll think of them on the fly. But yeah, so he just said frustrating season for the Cubs. It's hard to disagree, man. We can come up with all the excuses, but the fact of the matter is that this team's just not getting the job done, and that's really what we're seeing right now. And I think the pitching has been kind of the Achilles heel, but it is what it is. You have to overcome those things, and you have to surpass those, because let's be honest, the Cubs are or should be a better team than the Cardinals and the Brewers. I think they have more talent. I think they have more going on as offensively. They've shown that in the plus minus differentials. I mean, the Cubs have one of the higher run differentials in Major League Baseball.
Tweet was like they have over 100 plus 100 over the Brewers right now, and they could be
they're a half game out right now.
They could be behind them right now.
That's despicable.
If they lose.
It's everybody wants Joe Madden fired. Unfortunately, I think if the Cubs miss the playoffs, you're going to see Joe Madden get fired. But this is not Joe Madden's fault. I know a lot of people don't like, the wishy-washiness with the lineups, but at the same time, the people that piss, moan, and groan about it are not the ones that are in the locker room dealing with that every day. They don't know what the actual situation is, so I think people can just give that a rest, because right now we don't need to worry about that. We need to worry about winning baseball games, or we're not going to see playoff baseball.
What did you think of your Green Bay Packers? It got a little close there at the end. They didn't score. I don't think they scored.
Didn't score in the second half.
Yeah. What did you think of the performance by the defense? Looked good, and the offense was. I mean, they did good in the first half, and then it kind of seemed like they just coasted to the end.
Yeah, I think that they're still working out some kinks. Obviously, with a new coach and everything, we've got some things to work out. But man, that first half was gangbusters. They came out, the offense was firing. We went up 21-0 real early. And the defense is starting to prove to me. I've been very, very skeptical of a Packers defense for the last 9 years, since 2010 when we won a Super Bowl. But the fact of the matter is they're playing right now like a top 10, top 12 defense, and it can only go up. I know, we spent a lot of money on that defense, a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the Smith guys, both of them are playing out of their minds. They've been playing they're worth every penny. Now you need to continue to grow that. I actually just picked up their defense on one of my fantasy leagues. Not that anybody cares, but I did pick their defense up. They're playing really well. The defensive secondary is picking. Granted, it's Kirk Cousins. Let's be honest here, but picking Kirk Cousins off in the end zone, just doing the things that a good defense is supposed to do.
Is it raining in this game?
I think there's a fog. I don't think there's rain.
It's weird because that is just.
It looks like they're playing like outside of the.
I think it's raining because their helmets look wet. I think it's raining.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I can't really tell.
Oh, yeah.
But this game, weird. I mean, Thursday night games need to be over. There needs to be no more Thursday night games.
That's wrong because right now, at least until there's action in a lot of games like throughout the week, I love Thursday night because at least it's a football game.
Yeah, but last week stunk. This week kind of stinks so far. It's great that there's football on, but what kind of quality are we talking?
You say that, but the Titans were coming into this game pretty big favorites throughout it, and they're looking like this. Jalen Ramsey playing well right now.
Despite the fact he wants to be traded.
But he said he wants to win.
Yeah.
Also wants to win. So I think he kind of maybe just threw the I mean, he could be traded next week. Who knows? But I don't think.
Florida, professional football in the state of Florida is pretty abysmal.
It's 100% raining in that game. Bears squeak out a game in Denver, up 3. Or they hit 8th. They hit a field goal to win it. The Broncos go down the field, and they get a 2-point conversion real quick on us. So,
yeah, man, that was a tough game to watch. That game stunk.
Yeah, it did stink. It was tough for everybody to watch. But I'm afraid that's going to be a lot of Bears games this year.
Much? I know it's only 2 weeks, but are you worried about the offense? I mean, the offense looks. Let's not beat around the bush. The offense looks pretty crappy right now.
Yeah, it's not doing well right now. It's below average, and it's not what it can be.
Right.
There's definitely more to it than that. They need to put. I think they need to put Mitch in better positions, not 3 and 8s and 3 and 10s, 3rd and 10s, and yes, there was a good split between runs and passes, but it seemed like they weren't split in the right way. It still seemed like some of the play calls were a little not in the way that Mitch needs them. But if you got to come – it's a Monday night game against the Redskins in Washington where you're favored by 4 points. In this prime time, everyone's going to be watching. So I think if he doesn't do well this week, if he struggles again this week, it's going to be nerve-wracking. It's going to start going forward because I get it. Those first 2 games were a little weird. They get out of that second game with a win. And then the Green Bay Packers defense was good. But if they can't go to Washington and put up at least a few touchdowns, then that's going to be disappointing. I
think you're full on panic, smashing the panic button if they can't get some points on the board against. I mean, Washington's improved from what they have been, but they are not a good football team.
No.
And the Bears should be, but let's be honest. I mean, the wide receiving core has not been great. Allen Robinson is, above average, but I don't know if he's one of the top 25 receivers in the NFL. And you're just seeing some issue like Trey Burton's having this nagging injury sticking around with him that maybe he's healed from, maybe he's not. He hasn't been great. Adam Shaheen is what he is.
There's not enough out there on Trey Burton after one game to be saying that it's the nagging injury. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, it does go back to last year too, though. At the same time,
but he had surgery, so that's why there was a nag to it.
Right.
But yeah, maybe it's going to be a nagging injury the rest of the year. But I think also Adam Shaheen had a decent game. And you got a guy that's got to get going. But yeah, this Bears offense is nerve-wracking at best right now because it's one of those things.
Giving up
because this defense, it's just like it's just the traditional Bears. It's the traditional Bears. Great defense, offense just can't get it going.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things that if you can just show a little bit of half of what you should be, because Mitch he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's proven it in college. He's proven it last year in some games that he can be a quarterback that can win games with this defense. Like you said, you're not going to be Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to be Deshaun Watson.
Exactly.
But he can.
People need to put that argument.
He can be a Super Bowl winning quarterback with a great defense. He has those skills. So I just think they need to put him in the right position to know his skill set. And yes, it sucks that you're saying this about a quarterback that you spent a lot of pick consideration on.
Yeah.
But you're in a spot where what are you going to do? You're in a rookie contract. You want to be in the spot right now with him, and you're going to have to foam around it. Either it's him or you bust.
Exactly.
Because at this point, you don't really have a choice.
Yeah, you can't really jump off the ship right now. And
no.
It is what it is. I mean, but listen, at the end of the day, I thought the Bears for what it was, a win's a win. All right, I'm not concerned with pretty wins, and I'll be honest. Like I said, like Green Bay, our win was not pretty. Let's not beat around the bush. The win was not pretty, but the fact of the matter is, you won a tough divisional game. We're sitting at 2-0 in the division. I feel great. The Bears go into Denver, one of the hardest places in the NFL to play,
especially first few weeks,
pull out a win.
And yes, you want to say
on a leg of a kicker that no one was certain about up until freaking Sunday. So, you know what? You
it's one of those things, too, that the defense, they gave us a 2-point conversion, but they were gassed. They were completely gassed after that game. And the altitude gets to everybody. The Broncos' record at home in the first few weeks of the season is just unreal. It's unreal overall because it's just that altitude always gets to you. But it said Mitch also proved that, yes, there was a roughing the passer where you can say, was it not? But also Leonard Floyd, I think, was worse.
Yeah.
He pretty much they say he threw him to the ground. He tackled him.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where's the line? I mean, I understand there's a body slam, but he was tackling him. He was literally one arm on him.
Yeah.
Not even had two arms on him. But Mitch steps up, makes a big throw to Allen Robinson, has the wherewithal to go for that timeout.
For sure.
And you get out of Denver with a win. You're happy about it.
You can never complain about a road win in the NFL.
Because, I mean, statistically, 0-2 and 1-1 are humongous differences in the NFL.
If you did lose that game, though, I would be praying for the Redskins because I don't feel like the Bears are bad enough to go to 0-3.
No.
So,
but now you have a chance to go 2-1.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you got to go to Minnesota. I think it's to Minnesota. Who? Or is it at the Bears?
The week after? Oh, yeah. That I don't know.
I'm trying to remember.
I just take like one week in the NFL at a time.
It's at home against the Vikings.
Yeah, and
we will be in Matt Schoolfield's house, in the Matt Schoolfield cave, man cave, where we'll be watching some games there, do some content.
For sure.
Be on the look for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be good to get Matt and the Money Line guys little connection. We'll actually finally we've been working for this company for a year now, and we're finally actually going to meet these guys face to face.
It'll be exciting. We got exciting times coming up
this week coming up is, I know you don't want to go to 1-2. Is this what you consider a must win at this point of the season? Is that a word to throw out? No,
I don't really think so. And yes, you want to win the game. All of them are, like you said, must wins.
Right, but it's a 16 games.
This game relies, for me, heavily on how did Mitch perform. If Mitch performed well and for some reason they lost, but it's his performance is where I'm really looking at, because you're getting to the point where you got to show your cards. You got to be able to do what you got to do out there. And some of the passes and inconsistency is it's worrisome. But if he can at least show that he can lead this team, this great defense, to wins, and he said you already know he's clutch. He doesn't get really scared by the moment. So I would say no, it's not a must win.
We were talking about our bets before we put the show or started the show, and do you believe, I saw a tweet about Kirk Cousins who said, if I continue to play this way, then I won't be the quarterback here for much longer. Do you feel like that there's some validity in that? Do you worry about the Raiders this weekend going into Minnesota? Kirk Cousins knows he's kind of on the hot seat right now. Is that maybe something, and I know we'll talk about it in the pick show, but like, is there something big gambling wise that, like, they're only a 6.5-point favorite?
It's a noon game.
Yep.
No, they're 9-point favorites.
Oh, 9 is
they're 9 as of right now.
But do you think that I think Oakland is,
but it's
better?
A noon game. It's not a primetime game.
But it was a noon game last week, and he played absolutely piss poor.
At Lambeau, against the Packers. It's always going to be bad. I mean, maybe it's just him. Now it's just in general he's not good. But it seems like one of those games where it's going to be a Kirk Cousins, like 300, 400-yarder.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. I don't know if they're going to cover 9, but
no. But I think at home it's going to be one of those games where you're like, oh, the Vikings are back, and then the next week in a meaningful game, then they'll show. But the Raiders aren't as bad as you thought they were. But Derek Carr, it's just not. I don't think he's playing as well as he can be.
Yeah.
But Nick tried telling me he is on the podcast. Maybe I don't think he's right. But also Nathan Peterman on the IR.
Oh.
So that's kind of maybe we got chirped by Nick.
That makes sense now.
Gons
that I didn't know.
And said that
listen, we don't follow the Raiders depth chart, okay?
But it's just that's just the Hard Knocks brain of ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Thinking about, because in that
you got to remember the clientele we're dealing with.
Well, he loves Gruden loves Nathan Peterman.
Yes.
So it's truthful. If he could play, I think he would be out there.
Absolutely.
Not really. He stinks. But what are some? What I know we have our pick show, which you can get on YouTube, which we'll have on Facebook here and on our Twitter sometime tomorrow. Because at this point, we don't have to worry about the Thursday games.
Right.
But you think we already both had the Jaguars, right?
Yeah.
So free pick
or plus
it's
one.
already taken 14-0 right now.
Okay, there's
winner
a couple
for
games.
Lil, hopefully.
There's a couple games I'm excited about. Bills Bengals. I never thought I'd be excited for a Bills Bengals game, but I think
what if the Bills get to 3-0?
That's what I'm saying, man. And they have a great opportunity because Cincinnati, I think they played really well in week 1. They played really poor in week 2.
They can't finish games.
Right. I mean, they weren't
never
even in that. They were down
but they
30.
It's just like Andy Dalton can never finish a game.
But they have enough talent. Joe Mixon and a couple of their wide receivers are good enough to beat the Bills. So that game I'm excited to see. That's kind of
I have a question about the Packers-Broncos. Are you worried that Chubb and Miller kind of got to the Bears, but they haven't had their breakout game. They're still waiting for a big game. And I'm not saying it's going to happen against the Packers, but their offensive line has been a little iffy at the beginning of the season. This defense is looking to get after it.
Yeah, and that's fine. Bring them. I think our offensive line is actually
against the Bears
played.
too, but I think you could say whatever you want, bring them and whatever. Like we could be like against the Bears. They were like, are they going to come at? What are you going to do? Stop. I mean, they are two of the best defensive players in the league.
But here's where I don't get like super worried about it. We have, if I could pick one guy in the NFL to go against a team that is ready to, kind of burst out, like you say, like I think Aaron Rodgers will be, whether his offensive line, he knows and he does a great job at altering what the defense is giving him. He'll dump off short. He's got no problem throwing, short slant routes through the middle. And I actually think that our offensive line has played pretty well. We've definitely had some mix-up, but we've also played, the Bears defense, and we scored 10 points on them, but we scored 28 points on the Vikings. I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong. I think we should have scored
26.
More. So 26 on the Vikings. And honestly, we should have had 29 if we would have just kicked the stupid field goal, So it's not like the offensive line right now, to me, is not our Achilles heel. It's going to be our Achilles heel is going to be the health of our offensive line, because we have shown over the last 4 to 5 years that if we lose one offensive line, one lineman, then all hell breaks loose. But yeah, you got to contain, guys like Chubb and Von Miller.
2 games I think are going to be very good games. Are going to be Falcons at Indianapolis against the Colts, and Baltimore going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. I think that's going to be a game where you take the over because it's just going to be a shootout. There's going to be points galore there. I think touchdowns all over. And then the Colts, I think, are better than I wouldn't say better than the Falcons.
But look at Atlanta.
But the Falcons
played well last week.
Did play well, but they were still Aguilar catch away. I mean, he was wide open for that touchdown. And I hate to say it, I just can't trust the Falcons, and I can't trust Matt Ryan right now.
Yeah,
still don't. I just feel like he can't throw it. I feel like that pass to Julio was as far as his arm can throw that ball.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I also, don't get me wrong, they've played well in the first 2 weeks, but like I'm not putting all of my chips in on Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he's played well, but like it's been 2 games. You know what I'm saying? If I'm putting chips on a quarterback, I know he's a little beat up and he's a little washed up, but I'm still going to put it on Matt Ryan over Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. So
I think that's going to be a good game.
I also think that people forget that this defense for the Colts is a Super Bowl contending defense.
Oh, absolutely.
They were I know they had Andrew Luck, but they were in contention for the Super Bowl as of 10 minutes before Andrew Luck retired. Even though I don't think he was going to be back for this season.
This is another game that I was expecting, it could have been one of the games of the year, and I don't think we're going to get that. Saints at Seahawks. No Drew Brees, like we talked about earlier. I think that the Seahawks are legit. They just went into Pittsburgh and took care of business there. I think Seattle's got a really good football team. Let's see what he's got. I think
he's signed for $7 million or $6 million for a reason.
I think he's the highest paid backup in the NFL, maybe.
Because you want to have a backup quarterback like that. And I think that he's going to be able to right the ship until he gets back, until Drew Brees gets back. Luckily for the Bears, they will get to see Bridgewater instead of Drew Brees, which maybe not. Maybe it is.
Taysom Hill.
He's there.
He's not the backup.
No,
he's one. Isn't he the one that runs all that?
Is he hurt? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be doing the Wildcat stuff. But
I figured like when he went down, I assumed that Taysom Hill was going in, but no, I forgot they had Teddy Bridgewater.
Not that Sean Payne cares, also loves Taysom Hill.
But Blair Bickett asked, "How's our fantasy teams doing?" I have 2 fantasy teams: 1-1 in one league and 1-1 in the other league.
1-1 in one league and 2-0 in another league.
Odell
Beckham, thank you.
I won the first week in my one league by less than 1 point, and then I won in my other league this week by exactly 1 point. So I've been squeaking out some wins, but I'm not good at fantasy. I've never claimed to be. I'm much better gambler than I am at fantasy.
One more exciting game. It's a lot of games where we got like Miami and Dallas. That's a big spread. New England they're hosting the Jets. That's another big spread. But we have the Giants going to Tampa Bay. We have Daniel Jones, first game of his career. I think that's actually going to be an exciting game. I think that the Giants are going to go there and maybe win that game. I would be looking out for that because it's still, even with Daniel Jones, it's still only a 6.5 point favorite for the Bucs at home. That's
little teaser, but that is my under pick of the week.
Well, it's a big teaser there.
Big teaser.
But then we had the Steelers against the 49ers in San Francisco. First game without Big Ben. I think Mason Rudolph was going to do
saw him
good.
Play in a preseason game last year.
But then with the Saints, Seahawks, like you said, we get to see Bridgewater, see what he can do. And then the Sunday night game, Rams, Browns. I think the Rams are going to take care of the Browns.
I think they're
in
going to
Cleveland.
Smoke them.
And then the Bears, Washington. That'll be it's a big game for this Bears team because you want to show where this offense is at. We need to start trending in the right direction.
Don't worry, I will have my Sean Taylor Redskins jersey on Monday.
Are we doing something Monday?
No, I'm going to wear it to work.
Oh, well, at least I won't see you.
I'll send you
pictures. Even though it's a sick jersey.
It is pretty sick.
But I know you're just doing it to troll me.
Yep.
College. How'd you doing? Overall, buddy. Buddy. Boomy, how did you do? Hey, buddy. That's what we can just start calling each other, buddy. Then we're like pissed at each other. What are you thinking?
I love
how are you doing overall betting?
I've actually been doing pretty well lately. I'll pull my Action Network, no free ads. But I've definitely done better in college betting. I'm kind of doing what you're doing and betting some weird parlays in the NFL, and it's not working out great.
Titans 6 consecutive punt.
Titans stink, man.
Jaguars
I am up in the last 30 days. I mean, my record, I'm like 60%. But I'm up $40. I'm just betting the right games. And for any of you that have heard me talk about it, I bet like $5, $10, and $15 on my games just to, put in a mass amount and just have fun with it. But I'm up 40 for betting $5 a game, $10 a game. I'm up 40 in the last 30 days. I'll take that. It's just knowing when and where. And I've done really well in college football. NFL, I've cut very even. NFL, I'm up $10. College football, I am up $20.
Love it.
But WNBA, I'm up
college
25.
football this week, it was a little bit weird. There weren't the greatest slate of games, but it was exciting. This upcoming week for college football, though, it's going to be a very big week. We have, I think, 4 or 5 top 25 teams going against each other. This says USC is not ranked. I think
they fell out.
They fell out, but I think they should be ranked. I think
but they have a backup quarterback in right
Utah,
now.
USC. That's tomorrow night. That's going to be an exciting game. Boise State. They play.
Boise State's playing really good football right now.
They're only 7-point favorites against Air Force at home. Cal is underdogs. To Ole Miss.
Yeah, because they have to go to Ole Miss.
Michigan, Wisconsin.
I wish I didn't have anything going on Saturday. That'd be a fun game to go to.
What do you got going on?
I got a coach.
Oh, well, that stinks. We got 11.
We're going to bring home a title.
Really?
Yeah, we got a tournament.
Really? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
Bring home a little title. Bama playing another snoozer of a game. Yeah. They're 38.5 point favorites. Texas A&M hosting Auburn. I think Auburn's a pretty good team this year.
That's going to be a great game.
They're getting plus 3.5. I think that's a little. I like Auburn in that position at Texas A&M. I don't like Texas A&M very much. I like that a lot.
That is weird that a higher ranked team, even though they're going on the road, or that. I mean, you could make and the Cubs are going to run themselves out of a run here. Jesus Christ. But anyway, Auburn going on the road, I know that they're sitting at 3-0. Texas A&M is 2-1, and then they're Auburn's the dog. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
And then 7 o'clock, the biggest game of the day, Notre Dame going to Georgia.
Which
Dame
is going to get routed.
I think this is a big, crazy line, though. 14.5 is pretty crazy.
Notre Dame will get beat by 20 points.
I get it, but I could also see it going the other way where it's a close game.
I will be hammering Georgia minus 14.
I'm actually starting to go on the other side of go to plus 14.5 for Notre Dame. This is just one of those lines. It's too good to be true. Vegas wants you to take it, and I'm going to feed into it. I'm going to feed into it, and plus 14.5. I think on the Moneyline podcast, I maybe took Georgia. I'm off it.
You change your mind.
Because that's just a lot of points. And then we got Arizona State, Colorado, 8.5.
I actually like Colorado in that. Arizona State, I think, is a little overrated, but that's
Herm Edwards, though.
I can't stand Herm Edwards, and that's probably part of my personal bias. I think he's a clown. I think he talks out of both sides of his mouth. I just don't like the guy. I think Texas-Oklahoma State's going to be a decent game. I think Oklahoma State might win that game outright. I think Texas is not great. There's just some good football games. I really like my game that I actually think is going to be kind of a little bit closer, and I actually like SMU. They go to TCU, 2 undefeated teams in the state of Texas. I can get down on that. UCF and Pittsburgh, I like that game as well. Pittsburgh actually played really well against Penn State last week, but UCF has been blowing the doors off of people. So it's a good slate this week.
That's some degenerate stuff there, though.
Yeah, man, it really is.
It's a lot of these things you figure out while you're betting them, like teams you don't like, teams you do like. I didn't go too crazy on gambling on football, the college football at least this week, because Zillow got a little cold. So,
yeah, you went real cold there.
I kind of just won. There was a point on Saturday where I just turned off all football and just sat there and cried.
That's tough, man.
Not really, but
that's tough.
Wouldn't that be a scene, though?
Yeah, I would pay.
Just somebody walking in my house, just me like
camera footage,
bawling. What happened? Lost all the bets.
Lost them all. We're gonna owe the bookie.
But we're gonna make this a little bit of a quicker show here tonight.
Yeah, I'm coming off of
Boomy's
mouth surgeries.
Boomy's mouth hurts. I don't know why. He says dentist. We'll see.
Wow.
That was
wild accusation.
That was low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But
what that mouth
Cubs
do?
though. The Cubs though. Down 4-1 right now. Be tough to come back from 4 games back. We got 3 games at home, and then we'll have 3 games there. It's getting sad. We're still got. I don't even know. We're not even in the wild card spot after tonight.
After tonight, we will not be.
So, I mean,
heads need to roll. If this team doesn't make the playoffs, somebody's got to go. And they were talking about a little bit on the Yak today, like if it's Joe, if it's even Jed Hoyer for the free agent signings.
Who the guy they brought up? He was in charge of the minors.
Jason
league.
McLeod.
Yeah, he's going to be in charge of the major leagues now.
Somebody's
which
head
I
needs
think
to
is
roll.
going to be a big move. He's very good at the minors. They're going in a different direction with this Cubs team now, where they're looking more at the stats and stuff like that. But he said there's gonna be a lot of moves to be made. It's just sad. It sucks.
Somebody's got to put their head on the
It just sucks a lot. I get sad talking about it now because I was all excited last night. We win last night. We're only down 2 games, and we come into here and we only got 4 games at home, and now we're down 4-1. I know there's still innings. I don't even know what inning it was. Let's see what inning it is.
Yeah, man, you nailed it. It's just so frustrating.
I don't even know what inning
Frustrating is just the best word, because this team on paper is one of the most, probably I think the second most talented team in baseball, or in the National League behind the Dodgers. But they're not playing like it.
They're not playing like it.
They don't seem like there's any flame. Nick Castellanos is the only one out there who looks like he gives a rat's ass.
Nico Horner's playing hard. We got Rizzo come back. He hits a home run to tie the game back up, and then we give up 3 more. It just stinks. It just stinks. Like
I'm at a loss, man. I'm just pissed. It's just so stupid.
You know what, Sox fans? You got something to look. You're winning more games than we are right now.
Yeah.
And Eloy's playing well. You got Tim Anderson's going for the batting average, the batting title. Good for you guys.
Yeah,
you're almost more positive than we are right now, because this just sucks. Because We might just completely miss the playoffs.
I honestly, dude, we're getting to a point where that's becoming a very
unbelievable,
real possibility.
Unbelievable.
Let's
just move on to the candy. Because this shit.
At least something that'll make us happy.
It just sucks because we got 9 games after today, and we've been just hoping all season, and right now it just seems like everything's crumbling. And it's on Fox. This game, the announcers in this game stink.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was driving the car. I was wondering why Len Casper
we got
was on.
M&M's white pumpkin pie. I'm guessing the white's just like the
white chocolate. I think.
No, I think it's just like the cream. It didn't say that. It just says. I think it's like the whipped cream on top.
We're gonna find out. Are you a big pumpkin pie guy?
I am, but I don't think this is.
Are you a pumpkin spice guy? Like, do you drink the pumpkin spice lattes?
Negative.
No, you seem like a pumpkin.
I have hazelnut. I like hazelnut coffee.
All right. Well, we got some fun fall colors in there. For those of you that can't see, look like that. All right, here we go. Bombs up.
It really tastes like pumpkin pie, though. That's
Holy
weird.
Crap, man.
That's kind of wild, dude.
That's why they make them with white chocolate.
I'm kind of blown away right now.
They're really good. Right?
You gotcha.
You want me to throw it in your mouth?
No.
Come on.
You sneeze on your hands.
Well, where else am I going to sneeze on your hands?
Well, then I had to disinfect my computer because
Sorry.
I don't think you were.
I'm really not. These are good. These are actually really good.
I'm going to have a few more just to try. I need to get better.
People hate this show. This part of the show.
Matt, you're right. I need to eat candy. I'm sad. I'm going with a 2.8.
2.8?
It's all right, but it's still kind of weird.
Oh, I think it's higher. I'm going 3.2.
Really? Wow.
I like white chocolate a lot. I'm a big white chocolate fan. It's actually my street rap name, white chocolate. But
I think, you know what? I think we're going to take a week off of top threes.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think we should do that.
We need to gather ourselves.
We
got fall coming up, too. We have a lot of categories we can get into with
my brain just hurts. I mean, the Cubs.
The Cubs are making my head hurt.
I'm going to say right now, honestly, because this pitching, this rotation is good. You Darvish, freaking 9 straight strikeouts the other day.
And we lose.
Hendricks, he gave up 4. But still, I'm at top of the 8th already? I thought dipping was illegal in baseball, but
they say it so that they can tell kids not to do it, but they just throw bombs in. I don't think you're allowed to like be on camera doing it. That's why guys like hide it. But yeah, guys just have giant
left the game.
bombs.
Left ankle. Oh. 7-2 since Yelich got hurt. 15-5 in their last 20.
I hate baseball.
Where's your run, Cubs? Where is it?
Bombs.
All right, well, we got to do all this. If you want to follow me, at Lilja, Lilja, TCF on Twitter, I'm going to be pretty depressed. But I'm also winning bets, I think. So if those do lose, though, meltdown tonight.
Making bets and cashing checks.
Typical Chicago fans, main page is at typical_Chicago. The Loop Sports is at Loop_sports. Like shit, Facebook right here at typical, not at typical. This is just typical Chicago fans. Then Loop Sports is on here. They have all our podcasts. Oh, thanks. When you start the thing with the comment with "fuck the candy reviews are A+," when any of you start setting out with that, I think I'm getting yelled at.
I definitely would.
So the Loop Sports, they have our podcast, blogs, videos, all the stuff that we do. We have doing an NFL pick show here after this that we will be putting out tomorrow. We both have the Jaguars, which are winning.
Just jagging off, baby.
Take it easy. That's like we said. You want to get away from your mouth injury, but that's probably not something to bring up.
Wow.
And then Instagram, typical Chicago fans, and the Loop Sports.
Follow me on Twitter. I should probably finish this candy in my mouth.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
This is good.
It's like you didn't know I was about to throw it to you after I've done this. How many times after the Instagram you're just,
Sorry, man. This is good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BoomyTC. I just sprayed candy all over this bar. At BoomyTCF. All our podcasts and stuff are
where are they?
Jesus, what am I doing? Apple Podcasts, subscribe.
You like how I helped you out today with the link?
Yeah, I definitely forgot that.
I'm like,
yeah, dude, I'm struggling, man. Just leave me alone. All right. Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review. Spotify, follow us there. Head on over to YouTube page. You can watch this dog shit show that we just recorded tonight on there if you want. But I promise the weekly picks will be better.
Peace.